Dublin Jornel. Do you feel any pressure coming over here fighting a popular home fighter? Don't go get. Jornel, do you feel any pressure coming over here fighting a popular fighter?
No pressure. Same thing I've been doing since I was a kid. So for me, it's just like another fight. Doesn't matter where I'm at. To me, it doesn't make a difference.
And have you watched any of the previous events here, or have you heard any stories about the atmosphere inside that arena?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was tuned in for the James Gallagher versus Patchy Mix fight, and the crowd was going crazy. So
How do you think you
sounds
doing the walk on Friday night?
that's fun. Yeah, that's definitely fun. I think that's cool. You know, going from COVID where it was always dead, no one in the crowd, it was always quiet, to this crazy atmosphere. I think that's gonna be real fun. That's how it should be.
And in terms of Brian, he's very experienced, he's very popular, he's won his fights by a range of submissions, knockouts, decision. What are you expecting from him on Friday? What are you expecting from Brian on Friday?
The usual Brian Moore, real tough, gritty guy, come forward, looking to have a fight. You know, that's what he does. He comes to fight. So I don't expect him to go in there and try to box me from the outside, or I mean, maybe he'll try to grapple. I don't know, but I would assume he's probably going to come in there head down, looking to scrap.
Yeah, his last fight was a loss in Russia. It's his first fight in Dublin and over a long time, I think over 5 years. So you could be right. It could, like, once that takes or closes, it could become a war.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, he has to show out for his country. So.
Thank you.
Hi, Jornel. Welcome to Ireland. Watching a few of your fights, obviously in preparation for this fight, you're very much a switch stance sort of fighter, and even I watched your fight outside of Bellator. It was a controversial. You came out fighting the southpaw against the southpaw, and in your next fight you come out fighting orthodox against Brian, who's obviously a very good boxer and maybe more of a kind of a straight up fundamentals type of guy. How does that match up with you as someone who is more of a varied, I suppose, striker?
I'll make adjustments when I'm in there. So I can go southpaw and orthodox like usual. I'll probably go out there in one stance, and if I feel like I want to switch just to get a different look, I might switch, or I might just stick to one stance the whole time. It all just depends on what I feel when I get in there.
Is there a plan like that fight, the controversial fight, you came in straight away fighting out a southpaw? Is it a plan beforehand that you're going to fight out of a certain stance, or are you, is it?
I always know which I'm going to fight in. Yeah.
You know, yeah. So
yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
What do you think of Brian Dawes, a well-rounded fighter? He's a guy who's been on the scene here for a lot of years, obviously, and maybe didn't get the big fights, down through the years like other people in the Irish MMA scene have. A lot of people see you as that big fight for him and that big opportunity. What do you think of him watching back his career?
I think he's had a good career. I think it's, obviously, I feel like his record doesn't really grasp how good he is, because he's 14-8. I feel like he's a good fighter. So I feel like it doesn't really reflect how good he is. I feel like when I do beat him, I feel like it's going to be a good win. But because of the record, I feel like people won't respect it that much. And a lot of people probably are looking at him like it's supposed to be an easy fight, and it's not an easy fight. Guy's a tough guy. Mm-hmm. Like, if you look at his fights, no one has been able to just walk through him. Everyone's had a tough time. Like, he's coming in there to fight every time. So I think I should get a lot of respect after I beat him.
100%. Looking at Brett Johns was just here before you, and we kind of asked him about being outside of the tournament, I suppose, at that weight class. Is this a case for you to win the next few fights and be the guy who's meeting the guy who wins the tournament in a year's time, or maybe a little bit longer?
So say it one more time. What?
So the tournament that's going on at the moment, obviously at 135 pounds, someone will emerge from that as the champion.
Yes.
Is your plan to kind of be the guy who meets the champion at the end of that by winning the next few fights?
Yeah. Because if I fight, 3 more times, then by that time maybe the tournament will be done. If the tournament's done, I'll probably be in line to fight the champion of whoever wins the tournament. That makes sense. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Go ahead. Go a couple on the Zoom, but just look at the camera straight ahead.
You said straight ahead?
Yeah. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, Jornel, Ben Davis for Tarp South Sports. Thanks for making some time today. Now, you stated leading up to your bout with Keith Lee that he isn't on your level. I was curious how you view Brian Moore. You stated he's got that aggressive pressure style approach, but do you think he's on your level?
I would say everybody has things about them that's better or worse than other people. I think he's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, and he has more experience than me. But I think my wisdom is going to be able to maybe get the victory in this fight. So I think he has things that are better than me, but I don't think it really matters. The skills pay the bills, and I think I have the wisdom to get the job done. I know I have the wisdom to get the job done.
Expanding on that wisdom, we've spoken in the past about your rapid developments in the fight IQ department. I was curious, what specific ways do you drill that in the gym or grow that outside of the octagon?
I just make sure that I focus on everything. I focus on every part of the game. I think a lot of people, what happens is if you look at the majority of the people in MMA, a lot of the weight classes that really shine, a lot of times it's people that are good at one discipline. Like they'll be really good at jiu-jitsu or really good at stand-up, but they're not good everywhere. And I think if you want to like be better than just like, yeah, you get some buzz, but at some point you're just going to get knocked down. So like, for example, and I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, but if you see the guy like the Israeli guy last week, he was like 6-0, 5-0 or 6-0, and he just took a loss. That guy was good on the ground, but he wasn't an all-around good fighter. And as soon as he met a guy who was actually solid everywhere, not the greatest guy, but he was a solid fighter, that guy gave him his first loss last week. So I make sure that I work everything top to bottom. I'm talking cage work, stand-up, clinch work, bottom game on the ground, top game on the ground. Wrestling, we go over everything, so that way, like, there's no guy that's just going to come in there and is like, okay, look, the whole time Jornel really couldn't do this. The whole time Jornel really couldn't grapple. He couldn't really stand. I don't want that to ever be the case with me, so I make sure I just cover everything.
Thanks, Jornel. Best of luck, man.
Thank you.
Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Jornel. Mike Nelson here with SevereMMA News. Just curious, how, for you, you're coming in undefeated, you got a ranking next to your name, you're fighting enemy territory, so to speak, but really, that kind of stacks up so that there's no real pressure on you. You're kind of the guy here. I know you say you don't feel any pressure, I know you give a lot of credit to your opponent, but is this kind of a relaxed, kind of laid-back mindset you have coming into this fight?
I mean, yeah, I don't see what's the difference between fighting in front of people and not in front of people. Like, the crowd is not going to get inside the ring and fight. It doesn't matter. When they boo or when they cheer, he hears the same thing. Everything that I hear, he hears. Everything that, like, if they shook the floor, we're both going to feel the floor shake. There's nothing that's going to happen to me solo. I mean, unless somebody throws a bottle in the ring and cracks me in the head with it, but hopefully that doesn't happen. If that doesn't happen, then we're going to go through the same exact thing. And if we're going through the same thing, then it's fair. So, I mean, as long as it's fair, I don't think it really matters what's going on the outside of the ring.